It's locked. It's locked.
At the same time.
You are a coward blinded by... God protect us. You've got a leech in the hospital.
Yes, my hospital. My mission is to heal while you go about warring.
You've set the table for a snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCullum, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, I've a good nose for machinations. I can flare the scent at a mile. You can't hide from the god.
Leave him, Jonathan. This is sacred ground. Neutral territory. And I just had the carpet cleaned. By the sacred stole, this is very bad news. Bad news indeed.
What happened?
The hospital has been attacked. We have injured patients, at least one dead and several missing. This has spiraled out of control. Even the most infirm are asking to be allowed to return home.
We cannot have the people lose faith in this institution. This hospital is their only hope.
Of course, you're right. But we cannot afford a public scandal. It would ruin us. We must restore order, and quickly.
You mentioned a dead patient. Who is he?
She, Jonathan. She was Miss Harriet Jones. I found her room like a slaughterhouse. Blood everywhere. The duty nurse is taking care of the neck.
Very well. I'll help you.
I know this place means something to you. I have noticed how you suppress your appetite when around the staff and patients.
You need to know you can trust me, Edgar.
I do, dear fellow, I do.
Please then, tell me.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd saved at the docks. It seems he was infected after all.
So Hampton became more beast than man.
Exactly.
Do you really believe they would come for us here? In such a public venue?
McCullum is a fanatic. The guard will stop at nothing. You don't know what they're capable of, Jonathan.
Very well. Since I brought Mr. Hampton here, I will put an end to this.
Okay.
Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
Hold on.
They belong to you now.
The life running in your veins. This dead flesh needs...
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor.
What can you tell me about the recent events in the hospital?
That Mr. Hampton killed Miss Jones in her room, then ran away.
And did you see all this?
No. I was working by the tents when it all happened. I only entered the room when they asked me to clean up the blood.
Where is Miss Jones's body?
I don't know. I'd imagine the morgue. It all happened so quickly.
Did you see Sean Hampton leave the hospital?
I think I saw a silhouette exiting the hospital gates after the shouting started. At first I thought it was someone who was just scared, but... well, maybe it was him.
Goodbye, nurse. Good evening, nurse.
Good evening.
What can you tell me about the recent commotion in the hospital?
Everybody's afraid. Death has always been a frequent visitor. But murder? How can we cope with that?
As a nurse at this hospital, it is your duty to deal with these things as best you can.
Yeah. Until it's my turn to have blood spread all over the walls. I entered the room first, Dr. Reed. I've seen what that monster did to the woman.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. Good evening, Mr.
Evening.
Can you tell me...
Before the shouts and the noises, I think I heard whispers coming from the stairs. 2 voices, maybe more.
Did you recognize the voices? What did they say?
I couldn't hear. Sounded like they were arguing or something.
Goodbye for now.
Disgust on every street corner.
What on earth happened here? Good evening.
I need blood.
Is there anything you can tell me about the recent commotion here?
Many things can happen under cover of night, Dr. Reed.
But did you see or hear anything?
I can't say I did, but the smell of fresh blood almost made me faint, Doctor.
I'll leave you.
Oh,
Yes, and I'm afraid I'm at least partially responsible. The man, the scowl, I brought him here.
Jonathan, how could you say such a thing?
Forgive me if I feel despondent, for there seems to be no end to the suffering and death that surrounds us.
I'm always here for you, Jonathan.
What do you know of Ascalon? I was threatened by a creature, a vampire in Whitechapel, stating I had to obey the law of conduct.
What more can you tell me about him?
He was bigger than a man. Huge, in fact. He seemed to radiate violence. I thought he was going to tear me apart. Then he vanished.
Fergal, the executioner of Ascalon. You were fortunate he was not after you, but rather out doing his master's bidding.
What is Ascalon?
The Ascalon Club are the most powerful vampires in Britain and exert tremendous influence. Take my advice and stay well away.
you embraced this woman? Like the other patient, this Mr. Renfield?
Her name was Amelia. And no, I did not kill her. I vowed a very long time ago that I would never take another life. Unless they ask.
Is there sufficient vitality in the blood of the sick and dying patients?
Yes, Jonathan. The hunger gnaws at me every waking hour. Frankly, I'm starving.
Yeah, I will.
Temptation surrounds us. Rich, vital.
I fought Fergal.
How can you resist?
Over the years, any pleasure I once gleaned from feeding
beat
is
Fergal's
long
ass.
gone. I drink for sustenance. And though I still thirst for
I didn't beat him
more,
up on this account,
I
but the
restrain
first one I
myself.
did. Baited his ass.
I have experienced a certain difficulty when faced with holy symbols, or trying to enter religious buildings. Have you?
Now that's quite a question. I don't know why, but yes, it has happened to me.
Is this a sign? The hand of God in action? Are we repellent unto heaven?
I don't have the answers, Jonathan. But I believe superstition and magic is just fact awaiting the lens of science.
Aren't you frightened?
Very little scares me, my dear. To be compelled to avoid symbols of faith does not concern me.
Thank you, my lady.
Another night with the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
Yeah, it ain't bad.
Hey, Doc. What can you all I know is I ain't letting anyone rip my throat out in my sleep. I found myself a nice blade, Doc. I'm ready.
I'll leave you. It seems the Frewen are redoubling their patrols in the district. I must be more careful.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir. Dr. Jonathan Reed, that's who I am. And who are...
Ah, some fancy gentleman we've got here. Clear off. We don't want strangers on our streets.
So you won't tell me your name, then?
The name is Booth Digby. Maybe I'll ask my boys to break one or two of your bones, just so you remember it.
Do you know where I can find Sean Hampton? I need to talk to him.
The sad saint. Why on earth do you want to talk to him?
He was one of my patients at the Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, yeah. I heard the poor bastard had been abducted by some cunt. You better ask Tom Watts. He knows Sean Hampton well.
Are you some kind of vigilante patrolling these streets at night?
Something like that, but the police aren't in charge here. We are, see?
So you're a concerned criminal, is that it?
Using funny jokes about me and my boys, are you? Fuck. You must have some balls.
I saw many men like you during the war, Mr. Digby. Greedy little cockroaches who feed on despair.
I could kill you for saying that. But, nah. You've been a soldier. I can respect that.
So, tell me about your gang, then.
What? Have you got a death wish? You really want me to answer that?
Well, yes. You seem so proud of your status. Why not tell me who you're working for?
Oi! I'm the boss, all right? The Wet Boot Boys work for me. All of them. Situation round here is better than other districts because of us. Because of me.
Do you need medical...
I feel fine.
Goodbye.
Pleasure, sir. Been a while since we've seen any new faces round here.
For now, everything seems under control. More or less.
Don't forget to keep an eye out for this guard of something, sweetie. My guess is they're recruiting for some vengeance.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. May I...
Who are you? What do you want?
As I just...
The Pembroke Hospital, you say? I ain't paying any bill left by Clay.
I'm not here to collect payment.
Miss Edwina Cox.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
The sad saint? I heard he was mugged or something.
Yes, he was. But he left hospital recently.
You don't say. Well, I suppose it's good news for the homeless and the useless. Ask them, they must know something.
What can you tell me about your work?
I'm a business...
Gang member...
If you're...
You're quite... I'm...
Fair.
Since my...
That's exactly...
My bad. I just really don't care about them.
What can you tell me?
You can't...
But...
Take the...
Loot...
Whatever.
Tell me about the man you and Booth killed, Edwina.
The bastard killed one of us and received retribution.
What happened exactly?
I don't.
So you have...
No one.
And you're...
Violent.
So you did...
Yes, Doc.
Can I see what...
As long as you have...
Good evening, Miss...
Hello.
Goodbye, Miss Cox. Tell me,
One of us there. No.
are you so...
Have you looked at...
What can you tell?
Things that...
Well, you're not...
Yeah, well...
More Are you some...
Something like...
What can you tell me about... Well, you're not...
Yeah, well...
More efficient. Really? You should probably tell Edwina that gun...
Incredible.
It's not that I'm tired about this game. I'm tired of this
Goodbye.
little small dialogue.
Good evening.
Hello.
Ooh, Digby looks...
You have no... What is it, Doctor?
I'm not...
Poor Bart.
So you're just...
Yeah.
Goodbye, Miss Cobb.
The sewer dog's fault, they say. Then the gang, the epidemics, everyone's throwing the blame.
You have not...
She's a past...
Goodbye.
Mark my words.
Not a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
A vampire? Whatever do you mean?
I'm a tracker of these creatures. A vampire hunter.
You best be off to your hunting then. For if the sewer dog is back, and hunting all these poor folk, he needs a catching.
A sewer dog? What's it look like?
It's an old story. A monster with daggers for teeth and icy claws. He comes of a sudden, nighttime, claiming innocence, then vanishes.
Teeth, claws, murders by night? Your sewer dog is my business. He's the kind of prey I hunt, milady. Good evening.
And what do you...
My name...
A vamp?
Hi,
Mr...
I know about this.
Really?
All I... Tell you...
What
Did you...
It's...
But it's my... I...
Can I... Are you asked...
If you...
How...
It's...
Have you heard of the Guard of Prewan?
Of course.
No, it's that big boy.
Wait.
I... Vamp...
Goodbye.
Go outside.
I hope I live long enough to see them wet.
Good evening. Good. You remember?
Of course.
Thank you.
I'm...
Tom.
Tired.
The... Where is it?
It's in and up.
Please.
Oh, I don't...
How...
Oh, see...
Nice. How... Doctors...
Oh,
You're... What? Who?
Show...
Goodbye, Mr... Good...
What?
Don't you...
Don't take it.
Yeah.
I just...
I'm looking... Who...
About this.
I'm looking... Who...
About this.
What? What?
Mate.
You sound...
I speak.
Don't...
How dare you? Yep.
Or...
If you...
What kind...
It was a...
You lot...
I've lost it.
I'm...
It's okay.
Is there anything in...
How dare...
No...
Let me...
Another... Is that... What?
Sit.
Inebriation...
Yes.
Take...
Hey.
Goodbye, Mr. Delaney. Good evening, Mr. Delaney.
The fuck?
Goodbye. Good evening, Mr.
The fuck?
Goodbye, Mr. Delaney.
Times... Well...
Good...
Hello.
I'm much...
Welcome back. You better...
Wine...
We respect...
What?
People...
You look...
This is a...
If you're...
I got we get... Yeah.
You're...
Yeah. Some...
Believe...
If that's... No.
Goodbye,
Yeah,
Miss
man.
Cavendish.
Another disgusting ball did it, don't you think?
I don't think so. Wounds are clean.
Seems like the guard at Frewen is on Sean Hampton's trail, too.
It's time!
Crush the leech, boys!
Kill you!
I'll send you to hell! Crush the leech, boys!
The wounds on this corpse are deep, the result of rabid rage. If this is Sean's doing, he's become a murderous beast. This poor man has just been slaughtered by a vampire. The body's still warm.
Want some of this? Over there! Elite! Elite! Back to the saddle! Shit! Vampire!
I have thirst for blood.
There he is, Sean Kemp.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. May I?
Good evening.
Have we met before?
No, but I just need to look.
That's quite judge.
Sir,
I'm looking for.
what is it?
May I?
Cold.
What?
Tell you what.
What can
Tell you.
if?
Oh.
Oh.
All right.
Well, I'll. Good evening, miss.
A fan.
And what about?
You want?
I'm looking.
Mr.
He was.
I see.
Is it?
There's
What?
It's.
Are you?
Mr.
What?
It may.
You really?
No. Well.
Well, I.
Glad to hear.
Do you need my?
I'm fine.
Goodbye, miss.
This Seymour worries me.
Why the long face, Doctor?
Is it all that worries you, Sean?
This is a blessing for me to become a Skal.
Since you left Pembroke,
Ask what you will.
aren't you afraid?
We are blessed. If that is...
But you must drink blood.
No, not your scripture.
Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood hath eternal life.
Why return?
This is my home. And what of you? A vampire doctor?
And what about William Bishop?
Alas, poor wit.
Why did you kill?
Kill?
So
Though,
but
of
how do you
take this key of the old sewers?
Very well.
I'll be here.
This is where I fight the big boy at. My ass.
I cannot enter. So that's it. These wheels control the water level.
What? Oh, yeah, I know it was a bugger.
I can't believe I'm doing this. It's locked.
See?
These maggots have escaped the wrath of Ascalon for too long. It is time to purge the sewers of their filth.
You again. The one they call the sewer dog.
Hold your tongue, newborn, or I'll crush you like a maggot.
You've let the beast consume you.
Finally! A touch of lucidity. So learn to respect the laws of Ascalon! Dare challenge the dictates of the...
Olha, mas...
Whence you vanished, I'll slaughter these skulls while singing your name! You found your death in me! Shall be a fair skull to adorn my mantle. Or go back to the hand that crushes all. Spill my blood to the pissing well. I shall crush you. Down, stay down.
Yeah, kinda, yeah. He was a little weak. weak ass nigga. No bitch. Big for none bitch. That's not getting the Ascalon though, because I beat his ass.
I cannot enter. At least one Skal escaped Virgil's wrath. The poor creature is bleeding to death. He cannot be far.
Safe we are, still. Drink now.
Bless you, Bridget.
This isn't the blood of a vampire, but it will quench your thirst. This is our domain, not yours. You've been warned.
Wait, I saved you from this creature. That must count for something.
Thank you. Now go. Go back to the streets and houses. There is no love lost between us, Vampire. But thank
Be right back.
So you're the sewer dog I've been told about. But who are you, really?
If you must know, they call me Old Bridget. And this shelter is where we live.
I'm Jonathan Reed. I'm a newborn Ekon. I'm afraid I'm not sure what's going on.
I shall not bend a knee, young Ekon. But I sense your pain. Ask, and I will afford you my attention.
Why was that creature after you?
Virgil is the blunt instrument of the Ascalon Club. His masters would see us dead or turned into slaves, if they had their way.
What the hell was that thing? He wasn't an Ekon or a Skal.
They are known as Volkod, an ancient offshoot of immortals. Blood drives them, enrages them.
What of this Ascalon Club?
Vampire society's elite in the Empire. They make the rules and enforce their judgment upon us whom they see as lessers.
So is it you that Sean Hampton sent me to find?
Perhaps. The sad saint was always kind to us. He must trust you if he revealed our location.
Sean is a Skal. All those I've encountered have been violent, crazed creatures. How can he be any different?
Maybe because he is the sad saint. Or perhaps because I am old Bridget of the Sewer Skulls.
Sean killed a patient of mine. And that's just one of the murders he's being hunted for.
If you refer to Harriet, she is now among us and under our protection.
Harriet Jones is alive. That's it. That's the proof Sean wanted me to find. I must talk to her.
No. Harriet is not alive. But you can speak to her. I don't
understand.
She is
Thank you.
Eternal gratitude for your protection, Master. Old Bridget says you are one to trust.
Yeah, trust me, I still...
Keep your distance, Echo! Old Bridget says you are one to trust. Eternal gratitude for your protection, Master. Your spell is enticing. Sweet.
Hello, Harriet. I've so many questions.
I love
Your
to
What?
This was bullshit.
Do you...
no back
Have you...
people.
Does...
It is not.
What?
And one
Will you...
Bridget. Yeah.
I have... Do you remember...
First,
very well.
Are you?
We are...
I like what I...
I know...
I will...
Who...
He used to be my lad.
You...
And
these what makes...
It...
Questions...
Nothing. No more words. Please.
Have you found the answers you would...
There is too much...
Get to know us.
You're...
True. We... Live... From...
Why...
We are...
Where did you hide...
We claim...
What is it?
The project...
You mentioned... I thank...
Your
Thank you, old...
Your place is not here. Ascalon has stalked us for ages upon ages. We're at your mercy. Will you end us?
It's locked, all right.
How is London? I've not seen beyond these walls in such a long time. We're at your mercy. Will you end us? The vampire hunters will never find us here. The vampire
We're at your
hunters
mercy.
will never
Will you
find
end
us
us?
here.
It's locked. It's locked, all right. It's locked. It's locked, all right.
Welcome back, Dr. Reed. Would you like to take communion with me now?
Sean, are you eating raw flesh?
It is the sacred flesh of the mortal lamb. Our Lord's bountiful transmutation for the sustenance of his believers. Thank you, Lord. I am your most humble servant.
So, true to your word, you waited for my return.
I told you, Dr. Reed, I was a man to be trusted. Did you have words with the poor Harriet?
You're harboring monsters under the beds of your clients. That takes some nerve.
We are God's children, Dr. Reed. One and all. And he's determined to save us.
Does this place belong to you?
This warehouse was once property of the Dawson family, but has been bequeathed me through donation.
The Dawsons? The wealthiest family in London? Have they a clue as to what goes on here?
Not at all. The donation was made before the war. The building was run down. I never met Aloysius Dawson myself.
So you have the run of the place and no one's taken notice?
As long as we keep to ourselves, we interest no one. This is a haven, and I pray it remains so for eons to come.
What will be the result if you continue to assist both Skulls and the living?
For the last decade, that's what's been happening. And they found a better life. What's to change?
You're forgetting the epidemic. Things can go south very quickly. I've seen it.
Oh, these are terrible times. Only those pure of heart shall prevail.
You've turned Skull now. Don't you see the danger to anyone giving you their trust?
We are all sinners, awaiting salvation. This is a simple truth, ordained by the Lord Almighty. I am a seeker of his glorious light.
Harriet, Miss Jones, has been behaving in a most violent manner. She's going to need special attention.
That's precisely the reason I brought her here. To meet old Bridget. She's the guide Harriet requires.
Who is this old Bridget?
I don't know, Doctor. She rarely speaks of her past, but I know she has a long one. She's likely the oldest soul in the city.
Harriet is possessed by her hatred. You cannot let her roam free. She's dangerous.
She has joined her own kind, Doctor. Old Bridget is a saint to the younger Scals, guiding them to salvation and peaceful existence.
I believe I've learned all I need to know. I'm certain you've killed no one, but one day I believe you'll cross the line.
Logic is a false prophet. Faith is the only path to salvation.
What do you mean?
We have been blessed with God's eternity. We are the instruments of his divine will. We shall feed the hungry forever and ever. Amen.
I haven't the luxury of being able to satisfy my hunger on staunched blood and lifeless flesh.
Give yourself over to God, Doctor. Expel your urges and kneel before the Lord in praise.
These urges. You know the hunger will never be satisfied.
I've come to embrace the everlasting craving. I have sworn to feed only upon the flesh of the dead. It is now my sacrament. Take, eat. This is my body. So saith the Lord.
I really would like to believe your fairy tale. The good ghoul feeding upon the flesh of the dead. But I'm all out of innocence.
Do you question my faith, Dr. Reed?
Do you remember William? Oh, how his admiration for you was exceeded only by his hunger.
May his soul rest in peace.
A night will come when you will suffer the same hunger. Someone who trusts you completely. A friend will die never to wake.
You confuse your voracious appetite with my itchy hunger. I would never kill a friend, nor an innocent.
I believe you've discovered our defining difference.
No! No! I did.
Another corpse thrown in the streets. Someone's playing a very... I know this brooch.
Sister.
Glad to see.
What?
It may be.
Did you see?
No.
You saw not.
No.
A woman.
Of course.
Goodbye, Miss.
You again.
Did you see what?
No, I didn't.
Really?
Because this sexist...
You speak...
You better.
You...
Those bar...
Isn't the whole...
A few nights...
What really happened?
I drank...
Well, I'll leave. Well... Good evening.
Doctor...
Did you... What?
You didn't... Who?
Goodbye. It's locked.
Crush them!
Sanitize. Hey. This is good though.
Right, these parts will be running completely amok.
Welcome back. Do you need any... Indeed. Have you not? Why this part do you think? Course up. Sabri... I like it. What is... Sabri... Goodbye.
You still... He's deaf.
Sabrina.
I love...
Who...
I mean...
Does Tom...
Yeah, but he's...
Do you require...
Don't feel...
Take this.
Tom...
Goodbye, Miss Camden.
Cursed or not, he's just another lost orphan.
Are they stupid or something?
I think perhaps I should shut the turquoise for a time. Times like these, a good drink's just as likely to cause a problem as to solve one. Forever. After, we'll have plenty of time to plan the future.
Good thing we haven't seen Seymour for a while. Even Dyson has stopped coming in every night.
Pub's become right peaceful, don't you think?
There's gotta be something can be done to get out of this bullshit mess.
Don't forget to count each bullet you fire.
You told me that already.
Nice shot. You learn quickly. Pointing an empty gun could be a fatal mistake.
It's easier when I picture the bastard's face.
Good evening. What? Do you...
I don't...
Is it true?
Yes.
Were you...
Sure.
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 Sound...
No.
Do you really?
No.
I want to...
I'm still in it.
Do you...
No.
Do you...
I...
Goodbye. Welcome back. Why, Sabrina? Goodbye, Mr.
You still work?
I know...
I just want to feel safe when I go home at night. Yeah. I don't fear you. You did not defeat me. I was Sabrina Cavendish. I did not surrender.
Good evening.
I was just...
Don't like questions. What a shit. Is that... Well...
Are you...
No.
Do you require... Have you heard anything?
Death of this...
What can you tell?
A shit.
What's...
I take care of...
You...
I lost...
Some... Goodbye.
now, everything seems under control.
There's one of them! Watch yourselves! Die, vermin! This one's mine!
Back, demon! Back! He's dead! Oh my god!
Jonathan, at last. I've been worried.
Don't worry, Edgar. The reputation of Pembroke Hospital is secure. Sean Hampton was not the guilty party.
Is that true? Oh, good news. Good news indeed.
I found Harriet...
Incredible.
Perhaps... What?
Not...
What?
I...
Do you...
John...
Does the name... No.
Either stop...
A pleasure as all.
It is good.
I'm better than...
Really?
I just...
How? Yeah.
There...
What?
If Sean...
You're... I don't...
Goodbye for now, my...
Another night with... This battalion of Pembroke?
know you can trust me. Why have you not spoken to me?
Are you all...
My name is Xiao Shun.
I do apologize.
Yes, I am.
Tell me,
Matthew,
at this time,
the worst thing...
did he hide?
Matthew,
The span...
you don't...
as harsh as...
I never...
Are you on...
I have...
How do you...
I don't...
You should...
Thank...
Have you
From what I...
Are you... I've seen...
Thank you.
No, I'm...
White.
No.
May I ask...
You could say...
Thank you.
You real...
Why?
You're right.
You sound like you're no stranger.
Let's just say...
Please accept my...
You should...
I think you're right.
Thank you for your company.
Maybe I'll see you again.
Goodbye for now.
So many new graves. Why do I still feel so disconnected from the others then?
Spotted! Watch out, boys! Die, faggot!
Hello again. Tell me. Very well.
Already touched.
Good evening.
And good evening. Had a strange...
Did you know?
No, I didn't.
Are you
That girl.
I fear you're
Guilty as...
Tell me.
The place is...
On the... What can you...
Not much. That one day...
And...
Maybe I prefer she remain...
In what...
The struggle...
If you say...
Such
Vivid.
Oh, yes?
You don't...
No, sir.
Still.
With thanks to my pet.
You seem...
Someday I...
I'll leave you alone. Hello again. Tell me about Richard. You don't seem to need my medical attention. Very well. Good evening.
And good evening.
No splendor at all. Oh, I see it now. I see it. Oh, the verses I could write.
You don't seem to need... Very well. Hello again. Very...
Without a...
Christine?
Of course I do.
Do you think...
I believe that...
Goodbye, Mr.
Pay me a glass and I'll be gentle.
Good evening.
Shane.
Could this be...
It is much more than a scarf to...
What do you know?
I paid my...
Goodbye. Goodbye, Mr. Darling. Can I off?
Keep your men.
There is a thin line.
All right.
Goodbye.
Fancy bar.
You never... Do you need...
To be honest,
I...
really...
Goodbye for now. Good evening, Harry. May I come in?
Sure. Even my dreams are soaked with glue.
So?
I'm not bothered.
Would it...
You can't say.
Why is that?
Sometimes I...
Goodbye.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
I know it's hard to believe, but this district has always
You...
been wretched.
Goodbye.
Fancy...
You never... Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
Cheap price, good quality.
The punishment of a divine will.
Good evening.
It's far.
I have heard... Good evening, sir. It's me.
Leave me alone.
It cannot be safe for a blind...
Well, a voice never lies, and yours... What kind of gentleman pays visits to people at this late hour?
Nigga wants to rob you.
So what is the...
I'm Dr. Reed. You flatter me.
No, sir, I am.
Have you heard anything about Nurse Crane?
I've heard this...
So...
Yes, I am.
And you do it...
My eyes may...
You seem
Actually...
Yes.
Thank you.
And what else?
I know you...
Yes.
Yes,
Does someone take care?
My sister Loretta and I have our date.
Do you not...
Loretta is the best...
Where does your...
Well, let's just say...
What's so amusing?
I won't hide the truth from you.
Do you know...
I'm no expert, but
I found a strange document and...
Really?
Here it is. Could it be of any use to you?
No. This page is just a part of a larger diary.
Is your sister...
I've lost my sight, not my wits.
Are you sure about that?
Let me be perfectly clear.
Goodbye, Mr.
Wandering in this part of town at night, you're either brave or a fool.
What? Goodbye.
Wandering in this part of town at night, you're either brave or a fool. Tell me, how do you see the world these days?